So how did you start getting into illustration?
Originally it was actually graphic design. It was just drawing based, but I thought I wanted to my design to communicate, but not just communicate one sole thing. So I like to tell my art like a story. So I thought illustration was the right direction. So I thought, let's see where this road takes me. And to be honest, I'm actually quite enjoying it.
What motivated you to get into doing that?
I never wanted to stop drawing. As in some artists had this like dry period, like you go for a burnout. So they either stop doing it completely or they start doing it over time. And I've always feared that. So I thought, even from back to school days to now, I'm always the one who draws. So I'd like to continue that further in life and see where I can take it, because I literally love to draw.
Okay. I know you're very passionate. Was there anybody in your family who motivated you to draw, or was it just something you picked up?
It's, to be honest, something I picked up when I was kind of small, and then, let's say the age 5 to 6, my drawing started getting more structured. And my dad said, you keep doing what you're doing because you love to draw, and he also drew himself. And then my uncles, well, he motivates me as well because he saw some greatness in me. So it's like my artwork wasn't that basic, like see this equals that. Mine's like you see different aspects of one drawing and it communicates in one different way. They say keep doing what you're doing and you're doing great. And I kind of motivate to now. So I just like drawing what I like to do, which is telling a story or just explaining a theory.
When you studied illustration at university, how did that go?
It was difficult the first time because I didn't exactly know what I was actually doing. But let's say midway through the first year, I kind of got the gist of what illustration means. It's like it's to illustrate, to show something, someone like a process, or tell a story, but through imagery and with some text. Because before I was just drawing for the fun of it, not really explaining what it is. But now I'm like, yes, just tell me what I have to do, just explain to me in a brief, or keep it brief. Like you want something to explain, let's say, the purpose of driving a car, the purpose of passing your theory test. So I'm like, okay, the stages are, you have to do your theory test, you have to revise for it, and then when you get to practical exam, which gears does which. I can draw that in certain stages, and hopefully the message becomes clear.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
To be honest, I don't know. Let's see what the future holds, but I want to be steady in my life with my drawing. So maybe a series of how-to books, or let's say a comic book. But I'm kind of more into like how-to books, like volumes, like 5 or 6 of them, explaining different things, some in science and some in everyday life.
So what comics are you into?
I'm into the world of detective comics, or known as DC. Yeah. Even though they're different characters to tell different stories, but I'm more into the way it's drawn by different illustrators, different cartoonists, and even different comic book artists. Yeah. So I'm like, you see the same character time and time again. Let's say this like Superman or Batman number 900 or something like that. Yeah. You know it's the same character, but they draw it differently to, let's say, the original Bob Kane for Batman or John Siegel for Superman. It's like they took one character and retold not the same story, but similar stories, but you know it's from the same character perspective. Definitely. So I'm like, yes, it's like, I see how the stories go and I'm not losing track. And I see how the backgrounds and the landscapes are drawn. But even though you see the same character, what's going on in the background is what interests me.
Do you see yourself in the future drawing illustrations for your own designs, or would you want to work with them if you could?
I would love the opportunity to work with DC or Marvel, any of the comic book companies now out there. Yeah. But for myself, I like to either tell my own story or my own comic. But I don't think I'm ready for that just yet. But I think hopefully in future, I'm able to tell a story like that. But there's also one other dream of mine is just to draw. It's actually a new one. Is to draw complicated science theories, but for kids, so get them inspired and get them educated enough to have some fun with science, but they know what to do with it.
hold of you, like on your social networks?
Two based on Instagram, which is Knacknacks is my personal one, but that's like going for holidays and exploration. But my illustration one, like Knickknacks Design, is where I'm based to show all my images and my progression stages. Let's say people can see my work, like it, comment it, and hopefully collaborate through there. And my third one is my Tumblr account, which is Knickknacks.